All right, family, it's Tasha MAMABEAR Prepping. So today, you already know what time it is. Get your drink, pull up. I found this old coffee mug. It's like a plastic, but it's like a heavy-duty plastic that I've had for like over a decade, you guys. I love this cup. I just found it, and I'm super excited. So get your drink, pull up. Let's talk about it. I'm actually doing this topic for two reasons, you guys, today. One, yesterday I did a couple videos on TikTok. If you didn't catch those, go over there, show me some love over there, because that's a hard platform to even do when you're my age, you guys. It's hard. I struggle. But I did a couple videos over there, and in the comments, this was a pretty big topic or question. A lot of people chiming in on what to do with prescription drugs, how to continue to get prescription drugs. What are you going to do when they run out, or pieces of them run out, or whatever the case may be? How do you prepare for that aspect? Which is a great question. I have done a video that talked about this a little bit, talked about 4 steps to preparing for this, but that was a while ago. So I'm going to talk about this topic again. And then also this morning, I had a really good girlfriend who was coming around rapidly about preparedness, and she hit me up and she specifically asked me the same question. So I kind of was like, okay, it's fate. This is what I'm supposed to discuss. And so let's talk about it. And I'm excited to hear what you guys have to say in the comments, those who are seasoned and have thought about this topic as well, and what you have done to prepare, especially if it deviates or is different, or is a tip that is different from my list. Now, I'm going to go over kind of my steps or things you can do. And then, of course, at the end, I'm going to give you guys tips specifically. Okay. So my very first question or answer that I tell somebody, hey, they're like, what do we do when the prescriptions run out? How can we get more? How can we stockpile them? That type of thing. First thing I say is go to your doctor and see if you can get a 90-day supply. Now, a lot of civilian doctors, or doctors in general, if it is a basic prescription medicine, right, that's not super addictive and dangerous, and has some concern of you having more of that, it's pretty easy to get more. Okay. You just tell them, hey, I think, you can be honest. Hey, I know things are kind of rough with the supply chain. I would really be comfortable if I could get 90 days worth of supply, and just see what your doctor says. And maybe some they'll do that for you, and some they will not. Okay. For my military folks, I'm not sure. Usually we have to have a reason, right? Like, hey, I'm deploying, I'm going on the ship, I'm doing this. Therefore I need, 90 days, or I need 6 months, or whatever, depending on your situation of where you were going. Okay. But ask. You won't know unless you ask. Ask your doctor, voice your concerns, and just ask for what you can ask for. Okay. That's the number one thing. Next thing is prepping from leftovers. So a lot of meds, right? The average person, I think, at least in my opinion, there's always a few left over when it's time to refill. Okay. Whether that's you missed a couple, whether that's just the timing of the month, you got 31 days, but there was 30 days of the month, you got 31 pills, whatever the case is, right? There's normally, they don't normally let you come all the way dried up before you get your refill. So by doing that, every little bit, you'll have a maybe possibility 2 or 3 left over, especially if it's a prescription that you're prescribed, but let's just keep it real. You don't take it every day. You don't need to take it every day, whether you're lazy, you don't want to, whatever the reason, you are not taking it every day, and therefore you always have a supply left over when you're refilling. Okay. And some people, you'll have that leftover, and so then they'll refill late because they still have some left over, right? And that's not the way to do it. When the refill is due, you get the refill. The refill is due, you get the refill. You do not set an alarm on your phone or your tablet, whatever, set a reminder, and you refill. If you can get on your automatic refill systems, where, a lot of systems have where they mail them to you directly, do that and get it on a schedule so that it's coming no matter what at a certain time frame. And then those extras, there's a couple different ways you can do that, but you're saving the extras. Okay. Put them in another bottle, Put them, vac seal them, however you're going to keep them. I'm not here to tell you how to keep them, but keep those extras. And then over time, those 2 or 3 that are left over, those add up, okay? And those could be life-saving later. Now, obviously, if you take a drug that you absolutely have to have every single day, you know, because you'll die without it, okay, and you don't have any leftovers, then that it is what it is. You don't have any leftovers. But then this video and the importance of doing what I'm about to tell you is even that more important, because you're taking something that is dire, that, listen, it's a problem if you aren't able to take this, okay? And that's what we're talking about, is getting ahead of that to keep your family going with different prescriptions, or at least things that will help them and ease them in their pain or their whatever that they're dealing with, that they're taking the medication for in the first place, okay? So the leftover supplies is a huge one. We do that here, and that works great, okay? Also, just, I don't know if I have to say this, but any kind of meds that you get from a doctor, from going to the ER, going to do this, or pain meds for this, or whatever, we keep all of that, okay? And I vac seal it. So maybe you got even a week's worth of prescription for something for a specific, you got hurt, right? But you didn't take it all, so now you have that, okay? And medicine, you know, medicine doesn't necessarily expire. I mean, expires. It doesn't necessarily go bad, but over time, the longer that you have it past the expiration date, the less potent it is. That's the only difference, okay? It's not going to hurt you if it was kept in a nice, cool, dark place. It hasn't been compromised from elements or other compounds or other things. It's going to be just fine. It's just a matter of how strong is it really going to be if you're taking this old antibiotic pill that you got for a toothache, you know, 10 years ago, right? So it's like you have it, but is it going to be strong enough to do what you need it to do, okay? All right, so this is where you get your money. One at a time is my motto. What you want to do is you're going to have to take out pen and paper. You're going to write down every family member, and you're going to write you're going to start with prescription meds for any of those family members that they are taking, and you're going to write those down. Then on top of that, you're going to write down any issues or concerns that you have medically for that family member. So maybe they're not taking prescription meds for something, but they deal with something. Let's say it's little kids and not having enough fiber, right? How do you continue to get fiber in their bodies, that type of thing. Simple things that you know for each of your children or people in your family that they deal with, whether they take a prescription for it or not. Write those all out. Then what you're going to do is one by one, so one person at a time, and then you're going to start with the prescriptions, and you're going to research for each of those things, okay? We have a world that is just amazing when it comes to information and knowledge at our fingertips, right? The internet, to be able to find information, to be able to research and get information is very, very easy, okay? Now, the double-edged sword, you have to be careful, okay? And I'm going to go into the tips of how you really make sure that you don't get yourself in trouble, but you want to research, let's just say, high blood pressure, cholesterol. Family member has those two things, and you want to make sure. Take high blood pressure first. It's prescriptions. Okay, I'm going to write out the prescription names. I'm going to research what each of those do, so I understand individually what each of those medications are actually doing and actually for and actually fighting. And then I'm going to just start researching. Hey, what is a backup medicine for this? How can I treat this without meds? Whatever. I'm just going to start firing off questions into Google, whatever search engine, and just start writing down notes, everything that I'm getting for high blood pressure, okay? And all types of stuff's going to come up, okay? You're going to be thinking about herbs, plants, different plants that you can plant that have properties, medicinal properties in them, oils, seeds, vitamins. So a lot of vitamins, if you just add certain vitamins, it will help different ailments, okay? Obviously, over-the-counter meds, any of those that will help different symptoms. Foods, okay? Did you know you can research which types of foods will help certain things, okay? High blood pressure, certain foods that aid that, okay? That help that. On the other hand, though, there's always a negative, right? There's going to be foods that are harmful for it, okay? So you're researching both sides, stuff that's helpful, stuff that's harmful, okay, for that symptom, said subscription, whatever. Physical aids, physical things that you can do to help your body mentally, physically get through whatever it is that you take this prescription drug for, okay? Is there supplies that you need? High blood pressure. Okay, you should be prepping to have all the different tests. Maybe a cuff, maybe a finger test, maybe a cuff here, the different stuff, okay, to be able to continue to test for that and monitor that said thing, okay? Now, let's talk about holistic as a whole, you guys. There's a bad rap in our community with platforms and like YouTube and different places that want to shut down stuff when you start talking about herbal and holistic options, right? So I'm not here to tell you any of that stuff, you guys. I'm not a doctor, but you're going to do the research, write out your notes, and then you will figure out how do you get those said things into your preps to be able to help aid your family member should they not be able to get any more prescription meds. Let's say we had the overflow for high blood pressure, but it's only enough to last 3 months. And so what's going to happen is there's a couple things we could do. One, we could wean and ration what we have left, the pills that we have left, right? Meaning, and again, you're not going to be able to do this with other things. But guess what? Nothing has happened yet. So these are conversations that you can have with your doctor. Doctor, if something goes bad and I'm not able to get my prescription pills, will it hurt me if I just ration my pills? I take a third of the pill or I take a half of the pill. How will that affect me? Okay. Ask your doctor now while you have the opportunity to ask your doctor, depending on what is going on with you and what you take the medication for, could you ration it as well? Okay, down to it. Ask your doctor the holistic stuff that you could do, okay? What is some stuff that I could do to aid that third of a pill I'm going to take? Whether that's foods, whether that's holistic, herbs, vitamins. Ask your doctor now to give you that information. Hey, I'm interested in not weaning myself off this, but if I get to a point where I don't have these anymore, what are some things that I can do to continue to help myself stay healthy? Ask your doctor that now, okay? You're researching and then you're asking and you're putting that together to come up with your backup plan for your medical care, okay? Let's go into some tips. When researching, very important to do both sides. High blood pressure. What foods are good for that? What foods are harmful for that? Also cross-checking if you're taking other meds, right? You might, let's say, I'm just keeping it with food, you guys, but this could be with vitamins or whatever. There could be something that is good for high blood pressure, but I mentioned cholesterol before, but let's say that food is harmful for the cholesterol part. So that's the thing with cross-checking and researching. That's why, to me, you take it in your hands, you research back and forth, then you cross-check, then you take it to your doctor and you ask them and you see what melds together so that you can make sure that you're doing stuff safely, okay? Because stuff can be harmful. There's all types of stuff out there too. You got to be careful because just because you read it that it says, oh, this is good, and then you start taking it. Let's say it's some famous drink on TikTok that says it's great for detox and you can take it every single day. However, that herbal tea that you're drinking that has whatever magic in it, right? That's holistic and herbal remedy is not safe to drink every single day, okay, of your life, right? It has a capacity of, hey, don't drink this more than 2 weeks. And then you need to chill on it before you do it again, that type of thing. And that's what people, they jump on the bandwagon really quick to get these different options without doing the work. You have to do the work as far as researching, and you have to get talk to your doctor and get a professional's view. There are professional doctors that only do herbal type, holistic type medicine. Ask those folks as well, okay? All types of people online too. At a click of a button, you can just start a chat, chat feature and talk about this stuff, okay? So when researching, cross-check it, buy it, get future seeds for it. So if it's a plant, it's an herb, it's something you heard is amazing, get that seed now so that you can grow it later, right? Buy the plants that are already planted and developed. Buy those plants, right? Dry the herbs. Buy the stalks, buy the bark, buy all the parts of the plant and that have the properties of whatever you researched, right? Get 2 and 3 different ways or forms of getting said material, if you will, into your preps. Prep the foods. When it talks about foods, a lot of things that I care about and that I prep when it comes to medicinal and health stuff is healthy cancer type foods, healthy heart type foods, those things that naturally fight cancers in your body, things like that. Hubby had cancer. So those are the things that I think about when I'm thinking about the future. See, for you and your family too, you could be doing this for the things like that you know maybe run in the family. How could you fight colon cancer? You know what I'm saying? If you knew it ran in the family and you're trying to get ahead of it way in the future, you need to research foods to eat, vitamins to take, things that keep your body in, a fighting position to fight against hopefully ever even getting that, okay? Help your body fight those things now. And food and vitamins and supplements have a huge part in that, okay? Prep teas. I say prep teas because that's an amazing way to deliver different things holistically. And so if you have a bunch of teas, even basic teas, that they're already done for you, okay? They already have basic herbs that are already known to be helpful and to help you for certain ailments. Get those teas, okay? Get those antibiotic type teas and herbs in your preps now. Get your recipes, so your different tinctures, your different things, as you research, as you talk to your doctor, as you get these preps, and as you try to make anything, make sure that you're getting that stuff together now so that you're able to make it, and then writing those recipes down. If you have a homemade, you come across some stuff and you have come across some kind of homemade whatever, make sure you're writing those recipes down in case you can't get back on the internet another time later to get that stuff, okay? Or get that information. Get your books, get your literature. I can't tell you how many books I have for preparedness as a whole, but a large part of them are on herbal remedies, holistic medicinal options, medical stuff. Okay, so many of them are on that type of stuff because I think that in the future, when you can't just go and get your over-the-counter meds, or you can't just go to the doctor and get a prescription, that is going to be a problem. And you have to be able to have some literature and something that can show you, especially if something happens to the internet and you can't just go and click and get the answer for what you need, right? You can't just go to WebMD and be like, oh, I have this going on, what's happening, right? Like, you're not going to be able to do that. You're going to have to pick up an old-fashioned book and open it, okay? And try to figure out what is going on with me and how do I make myself feel better, okay? And then, of course, stacking the over-the-counter meds, stacking the vitamins and the supplements. That goes in hand with stacking the other pieces of this. Stack, prepare. This stuff's super important. It's scary, and it's hard because some people will come at me and be like, well, Tasha, what about those like life-saving meds? Those meds that people will die without them. Those psychotherapy type drugs, any of that type of stuff. I don't have an answer for you. Okay, I do not have an answer for you of how do you prepare for that. I know that if it's me, I'm going to do everything in my power to research like crazy, get literature specifically on that ailment, that disease, whatever it is, so that at a minimum, if it's I definitely can't stop it. I can't, once the meds are gone, it's slowly downhill from there. Then I will be prepping and getting everything ready to make life as comfortable as possible for that family member. Because what else can you do? You know what I'm saying? Pray. Pray to God for a miracle, and research and talk to your doctor now about different things that you could do. Okay. I think it's scary because, we talk about all the time, a certain percentage of people are going to die right off the jump. And when we're talking about that percentage, a lot of that is that percentage of people who are all over the world that are on life saving medication. And the minute that is not there, whether that's being administered at home or in a hospital or some sort of treatment, you know, I hate to say the same because it's so kind of cold-hearted, but at that point, it is what it is. The good thing is, you know that already, that you're in a predicament where there is something that is life-saving. And so it becomes, what can you do to make that, hopefully rectify it as much as you can, or the quality of life, make it as smooth as possible, as painless as possible. Those are the types of preps that I would be working on, to make my family member as comfortable as possible in an impossible time. I mean, there's nothing, all you can do is try, okay? But if you say, oh, it's impossible, and you're not even going to take the time to get on the internet while you have it, talk to a doctor, talk to doctors, and see what are some different things that could be helpful, okay? Then that's your business, I guess. Okay? So, I hope you guys are well. Girl, I hope I answered your question. All of the people who commented on TikTok video yesterday, I hope I answered the question. If you have more questions, leave them in the comment box. And of course, if you're watching this and you have stuff to add, you have other tips, other advisement to give, please give it. Drop it in the comments, because we're here to teach each other, okay? This is not just I know everything and you just sit there and listen. No, I learn stuff every single day from the comments from my videos. You teaching me and helping to teach other people, all right? So, blessings from my bear cave to yours, and I'll see you guys tomorrow in the next video. Bye.